I'm really glad all of you are here. We have a lot to cover today, and I'm really excited about the work we have ahead of us and how well we are going to get started on our report. So with that, we are going to be reminded of our goals as a committee. We advise TEA of unmet needs within the state in the education of children with disabilities. We comment publicly on any rules and regulations proposed by the state regarding the education of children with disabilities. We advise TEA in developing evaluations and reporting on data to the Texas Secretary. We advise TEA in developing corrective action plans to address findings identified in federal monitoring reports. We advise TEA in developing and implementing policies related to the coordination of services for children with disabilities. We advise TEA in setting standards related to significant disproportionality determination. And we are required to submit a report to the legislature biennially with recommended changes to state law and agency rules relating to special education. So I spell out some of our requirements, and I need to change these dates. So today, we're going to review and approve meeting minutes from our June meeting. We'll have some TEA updates. Hopefully, if we have any, well, I have public comments. I want to hear from everyone. And then we'll have our subcommittee reports, updates, and we'll vote if we need to vote on anything. And then we'll review and improve our meeting minutes, and we'll make recommendations on current matters and set future meeting topics. And then we'll set our next meeting date. So we have TEA updates, and I don't think we have Kristen McGuire here today.
We do not, but I'm gonna jump in and do the best I can for her.
Say something.
Yes, she's gonna fill it.
Am I able to share my screen, Amy?
Who's the one that's giving me? No.
TEA.
Is my screen sharing?
I'm looking out of this.
You should be able to now.
Okay, perfect. Are y'all seeing the document?
No.
See your face.
Oh, okay. Me. Do you see the document now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I just have a few updates today. I know that Kristen went over a bunch of legislative updates last time. And so I just have a couple of additional updates now. And one, just want to start with yesterday, we held a stakeholder panel in regards to Senate Bill 57, as we are looking to update the guidelines that we put together last year in collaboration with various stakeholders regarding emergency procedures for individuals with disabilities or impairments. Senate Bill 57 requires us to go back and look at those guidelines and then also to make recommendations for students with disabilities or impairments in particular in when it comes to school drills. And so we had a stakeholder panel yesterday to get some feedback on that. There is going to be a rule that is going to be going through the rulemaking process. So there will be a chance for public comment on that rule that incorporates those elements of Senate Bill 57. And then we also will be updating the guidelines as well. So we held that panel yesterday. The cameras in the classroom survey. So we are required to, the agency is required to collect data relating to the installation and operation of video and audio equipment in certain special education classrooms and settings, including the number of requests that are made, authorized, and denied by an LEA. So that the survey will be going out on Monday, and there is a window from October the 20th to December the 12th for the LEAs to complete that survey. They do need to sign an assurance in the legal framework saying that they have completed the survey. And that will be, the survey questions are questions that pertain to the 24-25 school year. So we will be collecting that data and have that by mid-December by all of the LEAs in the state. And then we have two resources I just wanted to make you aware of. So in July, we have a graduation of special education frequently asked questions guidance document that was published to the Texas Sped Support website to clarify many of the questions that were coming in related to graduation and special education specifically. And then the Texas Transition and Employment Guide was also updated this summer. And is also published to the Texas Sped Support website. LEAs are required to post the guide in both English and Spanish on their websites. They can either upload it and post it as a PDF, or they can link it to what's on the Texas Sped Support website, but that was updated. It's available in multiple languages. There's some new chapters. There's some updated content. And so that is a resource that has already been published and available for LEAs. At the beginning of the school year. And then due to a lot due to legislation, but some not due to legislation, we are busy with our rulemaking calendar. And so there are several rules that we have that are coming up for public comment at the end of the month. And so I have some of those listed out here. And then there are several more that are coming in November. And then there are some also, as I scroll down, there are some more that are coming soon. We don't have a public comment window established yet, but they are coming soon. And then we also, in addition to all of these, we also have some that are going to be starting to roll out in December and January and February. And so we are busy with the rulemaking side of things. But of course, all of the special education rules, we have 2 public hearings for, and then also the public comment window as well. So there will be plenty of opportunity to comment on these various rules as they are going through the rulemaking process. That is all of my updates for today.
Well, thank you very much for those updates.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Hi,
I'm asking a question specifically on dyslexia. I was in a training this summer in Region 1, and I noticed that a lot of the schools in that region were using an AI application
for dyslexia instruction. And I'll tell you a little bit about it because I'm very familiar. The students have gone, they take a test and it places them. And the majority of the instruction was done in by artificial intelligence. And I know that I discussed it last year and I even asked questions as far as the handbook was concerned. It's supposed to be direct instruction. In that program, that was, I don't know how many schools in Texas, but I know in Region 1, there were more than 10. And I'm not even going to mention the schools, but they were using that solely for instruction. So is there a way of how the state can keep? I know that you use EMAC to track, but I am concerned that some of the districts are still using AI instead of direct instruction, which is made by a teacher.
Mm-hmm. So I am having a really hard time hearing you. There's a large echo. Is it possible for you either? Are you in person?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder if there's other people in the room maybe that need to mute their mic because it's echoing. Or if you want to type it out into the chat and I can respond to you here in a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, much better.
Sorry, yes. We're not close, but we are close. We're in the same room. I went to a training during the summer. I teach dyslexia in Region 1. And I want to say that there were more than 10 schools that were using an AI program, which is an application, which lacks the direct instruction. I know that that doesn't happen in every district throughout Texas, but I know that in our region, it was very, very common. I'm not even going to mention the schools, but I know that there were more than 10 schools there. I want to say there were more than 15. So all of those school districts were using that artificial intelligence application that had very limited or no direct instruction of students in regards to dyslexia instruction, which is mandated by the handbook. So my question is, does TA track what the schools are using? And if not, would it be possible? I know that they track what they use for other forms of instruction through DMAC. And one of the reasons is that I'm concerned that the students that are, if you were diagnosed with dyslexia, it's like being diagnosed with something else. Unless you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're never going to get any better. And it saddens me when I see a student that has dyslexia that hasn't gotten that direct instruction tell me, Miss, I want to just be holding on so I can drop out of school because I've had it more than once. And I know that there's some very good schools that I've spoken to people in other areas that have had wonderful programs. Maybe it's not throughout the state, but I know that the smaller school districts that don't have a qualified person trained in dyslexia were using that. And honestly, you can form a group because there was no limit as far as groups were concerned. And that happened to me. They wanted me to have a group of 16 students for dyslexia. You're talking about the more severe, that's a general classroom. You know, some teachers had less students than that in a general classroom. So I'm concerned about the students that are getting instruction by an artificial intelligence program that does have no direct instruction and no feedback from an individual. I love it. AI, I used it, but I know that sometimes I need that direct, and that's why I'm here in person. So maybe tracking it if you don't track.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I understand what you're saying. I wrote down your concerns and thank you for voicing that. That is something that I want to go back and talk to our dyslexia team about and get some more information for you regarding that, because I know that things are constantly changing so I want to be able to give you the accurate information. So I will get with them and I can get back with you.
Does anybody have any other questions?
Yes, this is Kevin with TWC. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great, great. I just had a quick question regarding the updates that you mentioned to the transition and employment guide. Is there any type of summary or synopsis of what changes or revisions went into the guide?
Yes, so if you if you click on the link for the Texas Sped Support website, there will be a summary of that, and along with a lot of other resources when it comes to the guide.
Perfect, perfect. Thanks. I'll check that out. Thank you.
I have one more question if there isn't a question from anyone else. What are y'all seeing in terms of the implementation of the new behavioral guidelines for school suspensions?
I guess, can you clarify that a little bit more? I know that we're tracking school suspension. We're continuing to track the school suspension data. I'm just wondering if there's more to that question.
Try again.
You're coming through on the Zoom. We can hear you.
Okay, so y'all can hear me, but I can't hear anybody on Zoom.
Did you lower your?
No.
Laura, can you say something to see if we can hear you over here?
Yes, can you hear me?
Now I can.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So next on our agenda would be
It looks like we have public comment. If there's any, I did check the CAC mailbox and there's not anything submitted through the mailbox.
we do not have any members members of the public here in the room today. So, with that, I guess we can close public comment. So next, we have our legislative updates. And I'm just going to touch on a few things that we went over last time. So the ESAs are launching for the next school year. Those were signed. The Caitlin Hanley Act, schools have to refer families to the local IDD authority for eligibility determination. And that's being implemented.
Do you need to share your screen, Amy? I think you had some slides, but we're not seeing them.
I just realized that.
Perfect. It's going. Yes, perfect. We see it now.
Okay. So now I'm going to go to TLO so that we can see what else that was on his desk last time got signed or not. It was passed. And it's a plan for the improvement of early learning opportunities for kids with disabilities. So SB 568. And that one also passed. And it was about funding for special education. Or a service intensity model versus a setting intensity model. SB 57 passed. And I know that because I was on the committee meeting yesterday with our liaison Laura about how to implement it. Anybody have any questions so far?
Ma'am.
SB 1952 gives HHSD control of the school health and related services effective immediately. HB6 had changes to school discipline management and access to telehealth mental health services in public schools. And everyone's been talking a lot about HB6 lately. And then we have all the bills that failed to pass that we talked about last time. So, Laura, anything we need to add before we move on to our next agenda item?
No.
So, as far as our new legislative report, did any of our subcommittees meet since the last meeting? Or did anyone individually have anything they want to bring to the subcommittees?
Amy, I respectfully request I'll stay in the same committees, but I need to step down from being the chair.
Okay,
I know that I am getting more training in dyslexia to work with my students, so that's taking a lot of my time.
okay. Is there anyone from your committee, your subcommittee that you would like to request?
I respectfully request, and I know that Tara is probably gonna hate me, but I think she's wonderful in this. So for the dyslexia one, I would recommend Tara if she's willing.
Yes, I'll do the dyslexia one.
Thank you, Tara. I'll stay in the group, but thank you so much.
Okay, sure.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Are there current issues that you think belong in a subcommittee that you are part of? As a reminder, our subcommittees are finance, health and safety, staffing, behavior, which will be interesting given HB6, digital literacy, dyslexia, justice, so anybody have anything that's come up since our last meeting that might fit into those?
Amy, could you share the slide where we have the members? That way I can put them in the minutes. And that's why it's not hard, or we don't do that yet.
I can do that.
That way I can put them in the minutes. That way we can refresh on that day and there's no question as to who belongs to who. I know that we do have a lot of people that are absent today, but that can be added on later on.
Right. Um, yeah, Laura, if I send the link to you, can you send the slideshow out to everyone?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, doesn't it work?
Yeah, we could. We're not supposed to do official member business in the chat, but I can email to her. Um, I do think that there's been a lot discussed given the beginning of school among parents about being nervous about the new behavior climate. So I do think there might be some more data than usual, or you know, anecdotal evidence we can put in the report on that. And I do think that SB 57 will give us sort of a jumping off point for new recommendations for health and safety this time.
Amy, let's do this because I never got the link to your PowerPoint. Can you just post it that way I can get the names of the people in each committee? Can you share it online right now? I can do that.
Yeah, Laura, can you share the link with the committee, please?
Yes, did you?
As long as you share it online, I can see and I can type it into the minutes.
Yeah.
Did you send me the link, Amy? I'm not seeing it.
I'm sending it to you now. Yes. Now you have it.
Perfect. Yes, just got it. I will send it.
So we're keeping the same digital access and all those.
That's what we voted on last time, yes.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean that all of those are going to make it into the report. It depends on if there's much to say.
There's subcommittee meetings, subcommittee.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do we have any updates on the governor appointing new members?
Yes, so I reached out to them, and we do not have anybody for, we don't have any applications for parents. And so that's something that we're going to continue to publicize, and try and get some parent members.
Can I make a suggestion as chair that our subcommittee chairs try to set a date for subcommittee meetings within the next week with your group, please?
I typed all the subcommittee members already.
Um,
We have 9 subcommittees.
yes, so far, but we can reduce them. If decide there's not enough of us to go around. Laura, do we have to vote on, we don't have to vote on chairs of subcommittees, do we?
No, I do not believe so.
Okay. So, Janie, do you want to share your screen so we can go over the minutes?
So are we done?
Everything except, new agenda items, which we usually do after the minutes.
Okay. Let me share then. Hmm.
Oh, and Janie, all those bills that were on the governor's desk, they're no longer on the governor's desk, they've been signed. Last time they were on the governor's.
So then I'll just leave it like that, educational bills in.
Signed bills.
Most importantly, the subcommittee members. Do all members have to be in a committee? As a committee?
I think so. Are we missing somebody?
No, I'm just asking. I'll go back and check. Adrian, do you want to be in charge of staffing?
No, I'm already in charge of funding. Thank you.
That's not hard for me, so that's fine.
I think the only thing I see that's missing so far is that I suggested that subcommittee chairs try to contact their other members within a week so that we can schedule subcommittee meetings. So I don't know if we want to put that in the minutes or not.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and put it.
Okay.
Adrian, or Friday is good for you.
It's on Friday.
you still having issues with staffing or no?
With that, does would someone like to make a motion that we approve the minutes as edited?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as edited.
Can I have a
I
second?
second. Yes, I'll second.
Who was the second?
Lori?
Thank you, Lori.
You're welcome.
Are we approving the minutes?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So approving the minutes is unanimous. Would anyone like to propose new topics for the next meeting? I would like a presentation from TEA about how the new behavioral guidelines for teachers and suspensions are being implemented.
And how, what, Amy, I'm sorry, I didn't catch
The
that.
new behavioral guidelines for suspensions and pathways back to the classrooms are being implemented.
And this is Tara. I'm gonna recommend a presentation from TEA just on an update on dyslexia identification since we moved from 504 to SPED, and any other data that they can supply.
I would like to see if TEA keeps track of students, teachers ratio for self-contained units or for that are not in the classroom, because I know that, I don't know how they count them now. Students ratio with teacher in when it comes to students in self-contained classrooms.
Yeah,
Life skills classrooms, I don't know what they're called. They keep changing.
Janie, on mine, can you just make sure what the last time we received a dyslexia identification update from TEA was when it was still housed under 504, and now that it's housed under SPED? I just want to see those variances. I see Laura shaking her head yes, but just for the notes, just in case we forget. Thank you.
Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
May I make a statement? This is Deanna Nelson.
Go ahead.
So I work with the Texas juvenile justice system, and I don't know how we would get information from TA or others about training or advocating for our youth that end up in a correctional setting that are SPED eligible. Our trend is increasing. We're currently up to about 80, well, I shouldn't say numbers, but I'll say percentages, about 38, 39% of the students that end up adjudicated to a lockdown facility. And I don't know where the training would lie. It would lie with um, legislators, with others that could really um, maybe try different settings for some of our students, but the numbers seem to be really increasing. When I first started 7 years ago, 8 years ago in this position, we had 32% roughly, 31, 32%, a third. And at times it rises up to about 39%.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
that's a big number, and it's I know they've committed crimes. I mean, I'm not, I'm just, how do we advocate, or how do we catch them in a school setting prior to them being incarcerated for felonies? And basically we serve students that have committed felonies in our setting.
Um, that's a really good question and a really big question.
It's a
And
big question. It's a big concern.
um, so I'm glad you're telling us that you want to explore that topic now, because now now that we know early, we can spend some time trying to find the right person to discuss that topic with us. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
speaking of, before our next meeting, Laura, do we have a general time frame that we want to hold the next meeting?
Yes, I was looking at a few dates in January the 21st or the 28th, if one of those works.
The 28th?
The 21st or the 28th?
The 21st, if that's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah, that's fine too.
That works for me.
Both of those work for me. So, Laura, do you want to check
Sorry. Yeah.
both dates?
So
I
I'm
am-
gonna put both dates. Next CAC meeting first is January 21st or January 28th.
Right, and then Laura will get back to us.
Yeah, both
Okay.
work for me also.
Yeah, the 21st will not work for me. The 28th I could make work.
I'm good with it.
I'm going for the 28th too. Let's
Is
do the
everyone okay with the
28th.
28th?
Okay,
That's fine with me.
That works out perfectly for me, actually.
I was gonna cancel a doctor's appointment, but so the 28th is great. Thank you.
No, definitely, thank you.
I move that we officially schedule the next CAC meeting for January 28th, 2026. Can I have a second?
Janie Melendez seconds that date.
All approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Any abstain? Or any
Aye.
opposed? All right, motion carries. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
I'll second.
Second, this is Lori.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your participation today. And with that, we are adjourning today's meeting of the Continuing Advisory Committee for Special Education.